Good morning. I had a good night last night, actually. The bugs at that shelter were horrible. So I just got there, set things up, ate really quick, got my water, and just jumped in the tent. And looked around at some maps and things for a little bit, and then fell asleep early and slept all night. That's just left right before 7 this morning. And I don't know how long I slept, but I slept a lot of hours, so it was good. Got up and, the bugs were thick still again, so just everywhere in my face and my ears and my eyes. And so, yeah, I just got out of there as quick as I could. So I'm rolling. I had to average, I think I said yesterday, like 13.8 miles a day to get to Irwin for my food. In 5 days, 4 days from now. And I only did about 11 miles yesterday, so now I have to average 15 miles a day for the last 4 days. So anyway, I don't think I'll have a problem with that. I'm sure one of these days, maybe it's going to be today, I'll feel really good. I'll do a big day, maybe do 17, 18, 25, 50 miles. That's about it. I'm not sure what to expect today. Hopefully a lot less bugs. It's very dark and quiet this morning. It's been a pretty uneventful day. Had a little bit of a steep climb at the first coming out of camp, but then spent a little bit of up and down, but a lot of decline today. And then I know later today, at the end of the day, there's spider webs everywhere. There will be a really, like a long, maybe the longest climb I've done yet out here. It's like well over 2,000 feet of climbing, straight climbing. It's, I think even closer to 3,000 for a long stretch. So I don't know how steep it will be. That's not till much later. And the sun's kind of out. It's actually, just as I'm saying this, it's starting to come out. But it hasn't been out most of the morning. It's been covered up and been just kind of real quiet and dark, and all you can hear the birds. And there's supposed to be some weather coming in either sometime between tomorrow morning and Thursday morning, and then be in for at least a couple of days. So we'll see what happens. Here you can see the sun behind me. It's just popped out. Oh, and it's kind of going back in a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, I'll have some rain to deal with in a day or two, and that'll probably be a nice little change of pace. I don't know, it's pretty humid out here, so that might make it better. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. It's just been a light, easy-going morning. Not a whole lot to say. Pretty flowers. That's about how exciting my day's been so far. Pretty flowers. Well, I'm out here crossing the highway, and I got about 3 hours of climbing ahead of me now. Good long climbing, and then some kind of flat later. It's kind of weird on the map. It shows it fairly flat, just several miles, 4 miles or more of just kind of gentle, what looks like just to be gentle undulation a little bit. But on the paper I have, it says that it could be quite hairy, and that there's actually even a little like a round trail that, a bypass, and a round trail. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, a bypass, because so many people find it so difficult that they just don't do it. They don't stay on the AT. So I don't know. It says rocky and strenuous. So we'll find out. First of all, I gotta do 3 hours of climbing. So I'm walking along and I see this out here, and I'm thinking it's something someone dropped, but it's not. Someone's just left this. And I certainly can appreciate you know, what they're trying to do. And it's a noble idea, but I'm not sure leaving, you know, paper and plastic out in the woods is really the appropriate way to handle that. But, you know, most likely they'll come back by and check and make sure that it's not there later, you know, so they're not just leaving trash. But yeah, anyway, anytime you're leaving stuff out in the woods, it's not probably the best idea. Although I guess it's what trail angels do quite often, where they, you know, leave a cooler out at a trailhead or something with, you know, water, sodas, donuts, whatever they leave in it, and everybody just eats what they want, throws their trash back in, and then the trail angel comes back and gets it at some point. Hopefully, you know, you just assume they're going to come back and get it and clean up the trash. So I suppose maybe it's the same thing, but I know there has been question before about even that type of thing, whether leaving trash like that out and about should be an acceptable practice. So anyway, you can make up your mind. Half hour of climbing. One hour of climbing. Ah, 2 hours of climbing. I feel great. Actually, right before 2 hours, just about 2 or 3 minutes before 2 hours, I got here to Little Laurel Shelter. So I stopped, had some lunch, rested for a few minutes, went down this little side trail here to get water, and now I'm heading back up. So I think I have probably about another mile of climbing, of pretty steep climbing, and then I'll be roughly at the top. And then hopefully I've got a little bit of fun in store. Maybe, I mean, I've got another mile or two of downhill, and then there's a little side trail to a little fun area that I'm looking forward to. So I'll show you that in a bit. All right, 3 miles of climbing. 3 hours of climbing. And I hit the top, and I'm going down now, or at least horizontal, and that's a good thing. So, whew, I'm drenched. About 2 miles, there's something called Black Stack Cliffs, which yesterday, when I was at that, I think it was called Rich Mountain Lookout, that big metal lookout building, fire tower. There were 2 young men there, UPS drivers, one of them from Greenville, Tennessee, and one of them from Memphis, Tennessee. And they were buddies, and they were just up there hanging out. And they told me all about all sorts of things, and they told me I have to go to Black Stack Cliffs. I think it's just like 1/10 of a mile off the main trail here, so not too much of an effort, and it's supposed to be really fantastic. And so I want to thank them for their advice. Maybe I should look at it first and see if it's worth it, but they told me all sorts of good stuff, and they were very friendly, and I appreciated it. It was nice to chat for a while and get some good information. So I'm gonna head up to Black Stack Cliffs. I'll be there, and I don't really know, maybe a couple miles, maybe an hour or so. Wow, everything just changed big time. Look at that, that's the trail right there. Cool. This is the only time I've traveled southbound on the AT, but I was going along and I knew I'd gone too far. There was no good signage marking Blackstack Cliffs, and since it was so important I was to see this, I wanted to come back. I didn't have to come back very far, maybe, a few hundred feet, but way up there is a sign. It says Blackstack Cliffs. That's funny. You would never look up there. No signage is that high. But anyway, at least I know I'm heading in the right direction. I'll be there shortly. Okay, dead end. It's a maze through here. Maybe everywhere is a dead end. I have no idea. Maybe down there. Yeah, see footprints? We'll try that. Oh yeah. Ooh, lose my hat here. Blackstack Cliffs, I guess because the rock's kind of black. They look like big stacks, I don't know. So up there, the guys yesterday told me there's another lookout tower. You can see it there in front kind of. And some cell towers and things like that. And now, man, I don't know where that tower was yesterday. Way over there, actually. I think I can see a little structure. I doubt you can see it in the video. It's straight over there. It's very tiny on the top of that small block. Anyway, yeah. Wow. What a view. I see all the farmhouses and the little towns for miles and miles and miles and miles. Gorgeous. Cool. Tanner and Colby, you guys would have loved this whole last mile and a half. Like that right there, for example, is the trail. It's like straight up. And then you're just hopping, just boulder hopping the whole time. I mean, 95% of the time for sure. Just wandering through stuff like this. It's pretty incredible. And then of course these amazing views everywhere. Yeah, this is a really fun part of the trail. Of course, it's shortening my day because it's taking so long to get through, but wow, it's yeah, it's just a blast. Play around in this. All right, I'm back on the regular trail, and this is, well, I guess that was all the regular trail, but the 300 mark. You guys have seen in some of my past videos that hikers will put together a little sign for themselves, you know, they can take a picture by saying, you know, I've gone 300 miles since I started Springer. So, as I've said in the past also, since I wasn't able to do the hike in one fell swoop, Bee Tree Hollow to Round Knob. I don't know. Since I wasn't able to do the whole trail at once, it's gotten broken up kind of in sections, so I don't really celebrate too much when I get to one of those. But this time out, I do have a little more interest in those, because even though I've gone well over 300 miles already, you know, I'm moving in the northern direction. I am connecting the parts that I have done in the past this hike. So once I get to Buchanan, Virginia, I will be on, you know, then all the mileage will be correct for me. So, you know, when I run across one that says 900 miles, I really will have done 900 miles on the AT. So, kind of keeping track of those. I can't even remember exactly. I think, oh, that was 300. I'll walk past 400 and 500, I think, before I shuttle around, and then, you know, in Virginia, shuttle around the section I've already done, and then I'll be on track. So that's weeks ahead, though. I'm gonna get ahead of myself. Well, I'm stopping for water. I've gone about 15 miles so far today, and there's water here at this shelter. But so this is the second shelter in a row I've come into, and there are no people. The Smokies were fairly busy, you know, not like crazy, but you know, there were multiple people in the shelters almost every night, at least someone else with me. But since I left Hot Springs, not so much. So, you know, I would guess maybe people are just anybody getting back on the trail, you know, maybe is just starting in Georgia, or you know, maybe the bubble is a little bit further past. If they started in March and they had to get off in you know, I mean, you know, maybe they already got past this far, and now the people getting back on are a little further or something. I'm not really sure, but anyway, there's my water. I'm gonna get it and go another, I think it was just 2 miles or 3 miles, just kind of up to the top of a peak, and maybe find a place to camp there for the night. Every single bit of this whole thing, all the way up the hill around, is all blackberries. Man, oh man, this is gonna be bear heaven in a month. What a beautiful little area.